Hello and welcome to Die Rolling. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and today we're playing Darkest Dungeon. So this is our first actual foray into our quest against the Collector. If you missed my draw, I did draw out the Collector as opposed to the Necromancer, which I was hoping for the Necromancer because it looked a lot easier to paint than the Collector. FML. So we're going to get into this. So join me at the table as we play Darkest Dungeon. Welcome back. So we're at the Hamlet, and if you watched my previous video, then you would have seen that we're actually up against the Collector, which I'm kind of disappointed about because I didn't want to have to paint this guy. But here we are. I guess that's it. So let's draw from the... before we begin, let's take a quick look at our team. We went up against a Fanatic, and we had a lot of issues with the Pyre. I did play that wrong. We should have been chucking people into the Pyre, and because there's only 3 spaces on that Pyre space, as soon as there were 2 people in there, he should have been going around attacking other people with his abilities. So we could have had some player deaths. So I kind of eked through a victory, but all my guys are hurting a lot. Hellion is on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, so they're halfway to their max health there. The Plague Doctor has got 14 damage, so 1 away from a death's door, and the Vestal has got 14 damage on there. The Musketeer only got 2 because she was kind of sitting to one side and just kind of sniping left, right, and centre, which was nice, I guess. So they completed the quest, which means they all get 3 experience points. We've only got 12 gold, I think. 12 gold for this. So it's going to be a short stay in town, and we need to heal up as much as we possibly can. So with the town, we've got the end of each day, roll a dice. If the roll matches a building with a hero in it, the caretaker will steal a trinket from the heroes. And it's a player's choice which trinket is stolen. So let's see which event we have. So what do we got here? Guild training. The Guildmaster was once a benevolent adventurer who has witnessed the death of all his prodigies. And his tutelage are honorary tribute to them and to himself. Each hero can immediately upgrade a skill for free. At the end of this Hamlet phase, remove this event from the deck. Wow, that's pretty cool. So we've got 2 items there. And sorry, we've got 2 days there. Okay, so let's roll to see where our friendly neighborhood caretaker is going to go. 9. And 9 is going to put him nowhere. So I guess he's just not about today. Wow, that's pretty handy. I never realized that 9 and a 10 meant he wouldn't be around. So we go from the Hellion first, Plague Doctor, Musketeer, and Vestal. But straight away, we're going to upgrade our abilities. So we're going to upgrade our Iron Swan 2 to an Iron Swan 3. We're going to do a Plague Grenade 2. We do a Sniper's Shot 2 for the Musketeer. And we're, of course, going to upgrade our Divine Grace to level 3. Because we're going to need all the healing we can get from the Vestal. Right, okay, so what should we do here? We're not very stressed out. We don't have any diseases. Do you know what? I'm just going to send her off to the survivalist. We're going to spend 1 to get a dice for the next quest. The Plague Doctor, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, the Plague Doctor is going to go to the sanitarium. And we're going to spend 3 gold to heal 10 damage off of the Plague Doctor. She's all right. Musketeer next. She's going to go up here, and she's going to remove a quirk. So she's spending 2 gold. And she gets rid of the light sensitive quirk. And then the Vestal is going to go into the tavern, and she's going to spend 3 gold to heal 10. Now we have to roll because of the The caretaker might steal something off somebody. So 4, that is a sanitarium. So the caretaker pops up and is going to grab. And he's going to grab this bleed charm because the Book of Holiness allows us to decrease our stress, which is very handy. Okay, so we're on to day 2. And where's he going to be this time? 9, he's off the board again. Well, that's pretty helpful. We're going to get the Hellion to... Oof. It's really tricky because I'm like... I've only got 3 gold left. Do you know what we're going to get her virtuous? She's going to go to the graveyard and she's going to try to get a virtue. When I say try, she definitely does get a virtue. And she has found focus at the starting of your turn, roll a 1 to 5. You can buff yourself up by 2. Now, if she gets another affliction or virtue at the end of our quest, then, well, during our quest, then, yeah, she will die. So let's hopefully not do that. Plague Doctor is going to go to Survivalist. We're going to spend one of those. We're going to get another dice. The Musketeer. Musketeer is going to use the Hamlet skill. So I choose 1 friendly and I roll a dice, and hopefully I get a low. 2. Well, that's going to do it. I'm going to do this against a Hellion, so that's going to heal 9 damage, which is all of the damage that's on the Hellion. That paid off. Right, the Vestal is going to go to the guild. She's going to spend 2 gold, 4 of her experience points to level up to level 3 Vestal. So the Vestal, she's now immune to diseases, so we don't have to worry about diseases. She's got 22 hit points, 2 movement at last, and a dodge of 2. She's going to be much better this time around. Now, I believe we keep everything else on her, so she's still got 4 damage. And then we just roll the dice to see where our friend the Caretaker is going to go. Number 1. Number 1 is the Survivalist. So that Book of Holiness is gone. The Caretaker was picking on the Plague Doctor that time around. And now let's take a look at the 2 quests we can choose from. As we're now at the end of our time, and we've got to descend into the ruins. So we have these 2 here. Our first one, the threat is real. The gates of oblivion have opened, spouting forth horrible nightmares that call the ruins their lair. Enter those dens, obliterate their denizens, and deliver these halls from evil. You don't spawn any level 1 monsters in lairs. 1 XP per lair cleared. And it says 8 supplies there, but we only ever get to have 4 supplies in camp due to the the fun of the collector. Or warming up the halls. The dark recesses of the ruins house even more sinister and potent shadows. We must light up the halls' torches, bringing light and warmth, courage and hope. Thus you are tasked with torches in hand and a righteous purpose. After rolling for provisions, each hero may turn one of them into a torch, use a torch in dark rooms to light them up, in addition to its standard effect, and clear them. 1 XP per dark room illuminated. That one, that's going to be it. So we're going to be warming up the halls today on Darkest Dungeon. So we've got 3 dark rooms, 2 curios, and curios are now going to be level 3 trinkets. But also all the dangers in the dungeon are going to be dungeon level 3. So yeah, it's not going to be nice. We've got 1 trap and we've got 2 battles in here. 2 definite battles, potential 4 battles if those curio rooms are guarded. I randomized these up and you'll have to take my word for it. If I manage to get darkness, 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 or darkness, 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 then wow, I've managed to luck my way into that. So we shall see, and I've added the kind of virtue onto the Hellions thing, so I remember to do it every round. I'm saying I'll remember, I might not remember, so if I do forget, apologies guys. We got 2 extra provision dice as well, so let's begin our roll. And I'm just going to roll all these, and then we'll see what we got. Oh, okay. So let's take a look. We got a couple of DDs in there. A couple of bandages. Bandages I don't really care about bandages, if I'm honest. I got 4 of these. So let's turn all of these into torches. I definitely need 3 torches. So I tell you what, let's turn 3 of these into torches. So we've got 3 torches there. Oh, wait, no. Let's not turn them into torches, because I can definitely turn 3 things into torches in this, regardless of that. So let's... Okay, oh, this is tricky. I'm going to turn one of these into one of those, and turn one of these into a food, another provisions. So that's how I'm going to end on it. Oh no, yes. And I get to turn 3 of these into, well, I can turn up to, what did it say? Each main hero to turn one of them into a torch. So I'm going to turn the bandages into torches. And our blight potion into a torch as well. So you have 5 torches going in, 3 tools and 2 provisions. So let's begin our very first. We're not going to bother scouting. We're going to go straight in. And just to remind you as well, the collector, when you're in a dungeon, all he does is he basically means you only have 4 rest points as opposed to, you know, the 8 or 12 that you might potentially have. So we're going into our first one. We're not going to bother to scout this because it's kind of a waste of a scout. So our Hellion goes first. They find a rubble and hunger. Our Plague Doctor got a trap and a rubble. Oh, this is not going well. That's my 3 tools gone. We got 2 stressful darknesses for the Musketeer. And the Vestal got a trap and a Curio. Okay, so we're going to use the tool to get rid of one of these rubble. We're going to eat something for the Hellion. The trap, the Plague Doctor. So let's remind ourselves about traps. So with a trap, you can consume a tool to ignore it or roll an attack against you. And it's going to be doing, if he gets a crit, it's going to be doing 4 to 12 damage to him, to her, which would put her in death's door. Whereas if we just get a regular, it's going to be 6 damage. The rubble, you suffer 1, so going to suffer 3 damage for rubble. And +1 stress. Do you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to use a tool to get rid of the trap. We're going to take that damage there. So we take 3 damage to our Plague Doctor. So she's now on 7 damage. She gets an additional stress, so she's on 4 stress now. Stressful darkness for the Musketeer. So we consume a torch, or we gain +2 stress, or -1 to the dungeon light. We're going to go -1 to the dungeon light to begin with, and then we're going to consume one of our torches. Then the Vestal, we're going to use a tool to get rid of the trap. And we're going to go for a Curio. And do I dare use a light to ignore the negative effects? No, do you know what? She's doing all right. Let's just go for it. So we have a Curio. Here's our Curio. And do you know what? I'm going to shuffle this deck. I don't want to be pulling out stuff. And also, I don't want you guys thinking I'm cheating at this. It's just, I don't know why I think you guys would think I'm cheating at this, but I just want to be honest with you guys and just let you know that I am playing this completely randomly here. Okay, so, and you can tell because I've got a negative quirk here. A sarcophagus, an ornate monument, left slightly ajar. A glimmering trinket is tucked away, and as you remove it, you wound yourself on a rusty, jagged latch. So we get +1 stress. We get negative quirk, which is she's anemic. So every time she gets a blood token, she's going to get 3 tokens of level 1 bleed. That kind of sucks because we're at that point now. So she's currently resistant to bleeding at level 3. So it means we're only going to be getting 2 of these tokens, but we're going to get an additional 2 bleed tokens because of the anemic. So she's got 4 bleed tokens on her. All level 1, but you know, it all chips away at the old health. But she will find a trinket, and she does have 1 space for trinkets. A very harsh first trip into the dungeon here. And her trinket is, our first level 3 trinket is a cleansing crystal. Remove all bleed from all heroes, man. So all negative conditions from all heroes. That's fantastic. And she's kind of the healer, so it makes sense she's got the cleansing crystal. So she's going to do that pretty soon, I imagine. However, the negative side of it is you have to gain a negative quirk. So that's pretty kind of nerfed by that. So let's see, we've got some food left. We've got 4 torches. And we have a darkened room. So we get a -1 to the light going in here. But we can use a torch and we clear the room. Now, I don't know whether we actually are able to... I don't know whether we actually can increase the light in the dungeon by doing that. I don't know. It's worth noting, because the light in the dungeon has gone down twice now, our Plague Doctor has got this Night Owl, our Night Owl one. So she's going to be getting -1 stress each time it goes down. So she gets that 2 times. And the Musketeer has a Photomania, so she gets, every time the light goes up, she gets -1 stress. Okay, so we clear the room. We could spend some time here if we wanted to, but you know what? I'm not going to bother. We're going to use Scout. And the Vestal's going to use her Cautious Cloak, so she's not going to suffer any stress for this. Everyone else gains 1 stress. And we've got a Cure area in that side. And Darken Room up there, so we know which way we're going to go. We're going to head up that way, because that's our quest. So we're only rolling 4 dice this time, because we've scouted out. What do we get? A stress. I should have done these in order. Sorry. Right, so we have a Stressful Darkness for the Hellion. She's going to take that, so 1 stress for her. Sorry, 2 stress for her for that. The Plague Doctor has a Rubble, so she's going to have to take the damage there. So that's 3 damage, putting her in 10 damage overall. So she's only got 5 more hit points until she is on death's door. Musketeer is going to eat the last of our provisions, and Vestal has another Curio. And you know what? We do have enough torches to ignore the negative effect, so I am going to do that. We're going to use the torch to ignore the negative effect of this next Curio for the Vestal. Display cabinet. There could be valuables left inside. You open it, but you trigger a blade trap. As it swooshes by your shoulder, you duck but manage to get slashed on the side of your chin. Agitated and clearly shaken, you collect the coins and the provisions found in the cabinet and carry on with your journey. So we ignore this +1 stress, we ignore the negative quirk, we do get 10 gold, and we get to roll a provisions dice. A torch, wow! That worked out pretty well. I'm happy with that. And of course, 10 gold in our coffers when we actually have 0 gold left is perfect, because we're going to need that to upgrade things as we go. So we move into this room, this dark room, and our stress is going to be increasing now. So we've moved on to this part of the light tracker. So we have a +1 stress whenever we take stress at this point. But we're going to use our torch to get rid of this. And at this point, we could leave the dungeon. But you know what? I feel like my guys can still. We got this. We got this. Of course, the Hellion could die if the Hellion gets 3 stress. Yeah, if the Hellion gets 3 stress, they're gonna get a affliction or a virtue, and they've already got a virtue, so they would actually have a heart attack and die. I think it's a heart attack, but yeah, they would actually die at this point. I mean, can I just leave at this point? Would this be like the most dull video ever? We don't have any way to reduce her stress. Well, I tell you what, let's spend a little time to have a little rest at this point. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take a rest here. We're going to spend one of these to light the dungeon up. So we're going to increase the light in the dungeon, which means our Musketeer's stress goes down by 1 due to her Photomania. We're then going to spend our 4 rest points at this point. So we're going to give 2 rest points to the Hellion to remove 2 of her stress. And we're going to spend the other 2 on the the Musketeer to reduce that by 2 as well. We're going to be increasing that in a second though, because oh wait, she's got the campus helmet, so we get to roll 2. We're going to use that. She's rolling 2 additional dice here. We get a torch. We do get a torch. We're going to use that torch straight away to increase the light in the dungeon 1 more time. So her stress goes down an additional 1. And so we have a tool and a torch. Yeah, let's carry on. We're going to do a we're going to do scout again. No, we're just going to go for it. Let's just go for it. Adam, why did you just go for it? This was a really bad idea, dude. You should have scouted. Should I just scout before we roll these dice? Increase everyone's stress by 1. Let's do that. We're going to scout instead. We're going to increase everyone's stress by 1. To scout. I know we only find 1 room, so it's going to be a battle. Let's go for it. Let's see what we can find and slay in this dungeon. Oh, 1 at a time, Adam. Come on. So our Hellion gets a blank. A Plague Doctor. Stressful Darkness. A Musketeer. A Trap. And we get a blank for our Vestal. So our Hellion and Vestal are safe. The other 2 ladies. So the Plague Doctor is going to decrease the light by 1, which decreases her stress by 1. Musketeer has got to try and evade this trap. So they get a +2 to their dodge. They've got a 4 dodge in total. So it needs an 8 to hit. So normally it needs an 8 to hit. Okay, so the dodge of 4 means you need a 4 to hit her. So she has actually dodged that trap. And now we're going to be fighting some baddies, and we're going to be fighting in the Ritual Chamber. Okay, so inside the Ritual Chamber, there's a special effect here that if our heroes end their turns in one of these corner areas, they're cornered, which means they get +1 stress. So let's see who we're fighting up against. So we have a Gargoyle. These guys are tough. So he's going to be in the front position. We have a Bone Courier, who's going towards the back. We have a Webber, which is going towards the back. And we have a Spitter, which is going towards the back as well. So that's what we're looking like. We're going to shuffle up our issue cards, make sure we haven't botched any of these. I'm fairly confident with how we're going to do with this, to be fair. Like, I mean, the insects in this are pretty insignificant, to be fair. So let's initiative there, and we will start by the draw. So we're going to be starting with a Gargoyle. The Gargoyle is in the aggressive stance. So we roll a dice to see what the Gargoyle is going to get up to. And number 4 means we're going to be doing a number 1, which is a Flurry of Claws. Goes to the most crowded area. It's got a speed of 3, so it's definitely going to get that. And it's going to head towards our Hellion because it's going to target the closest... the person in the aggressive stance. However, there is a limit of 2 characters in this space, so the Gargoyle can't get there, which means its attack fails. And well shuffled, Adam. The Spitter goes next. The Spitter is in a defensive position, which means it is going to do a number 2, which is a bite. It's going to go to the closest area. Once again, this... Oh, it can actually get in there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's going to head towards our guys down here. There's slightly more room in here. So yeah, oh wait, that's not our Spitter. This is our Spitter. It's going to go towards the closest area, which is there, and it can't get in there. So its attack fails also. Next, we have us. So it's the Hellion. The start of the turn, we roll a dice to see if she gets a self buff to herself. 1 to 5 does it. 4, yep. So she gets 2 buff tokens. She gets +1 to her crits when she's attacking. Okay, so we don't want to stay here because we're going to be getting a stress for being in that area. So the bone courtier is going to be activating the next on the kind of list there. So she's going to move into this zone here, and she is going to attack with her wicked hack. So her crit is currently at a 4 because of the light in the dungeon, plus the 2 buffs we've got on there. So she's going to attack the bone courtier. We got a 1, so she decreases her stress by 1, and she deals 12 damage to the bone courtier, which kills. So next we have, it's us, it's the Plague Doctor. The Plague Doctor is going to start by picking up this. So we get to choose a face. We're going to do a torch. And then she is going to move over this way, just the 2 spaces. She can move 3, but we're just going to move up 2 there. Okay, and next we have the Weber. So this is the Weber here. Weber is in the range position, so we have to roll. It got a 7, which means it is going to do a number 2, which is a bite. So it's going to go to the closest character. It's equidistance between our Vestal and our Hellion, so it's going to go towards the Hellion because the Hellion's in the aggressive stance. So it's got an accuracy of 8. There's a dodge of 2 on the Hellion. So yeah, it just hits. Does 2 damage, adds 3 tokens of level 1 blight, but it's actually 2 because she's resistant to that. So it's just only 2 damage to the Hellion. And 2 level 1 blights on her. That wasn't too bad. Next, it is our Musketeer. So our Musketeer is going to run into here. And she's going to do her battlefield bandage on the Plague Doctor. She's got a 10, which unfortunately means she misses. Next we have the Bone Courtier, but it's dead. So it's finally the Vestal. She takes 1 damage, and we remove a bleed token from her. And the Vestal is going to move 1 space here, and then she's going to try to heal the Plague Doctor with a Divine Grace. It's got an accuracy of 16, so it's definitely going to hit. It heals 7 damage from her. So it means she's only got 3 hit points left. 3 damage on her, sorry. Not 3 hit points left, because that means she's near death, but actually she's far from it. So let's see how we do in round 2. 4 of us, our guys on the board, 3 of theirs. And let's see how we're going on with initiative. So it's us. So the Vestal goes first. She's got a roll to see if she still has. She's focused. Yep. So she gets another 2 buff tokens on her. She's currently got 3 buff tokens on her, but she takes 1 damage from Blight. Okay, I kind of feel like I need to try and take out that Gargoyle. Gargoyle is immune to bleeding. We're going to do an Iron Swan 3 and hope for a crit. Oh my word! An Iron Swan 3. It's got a range of 2, so 1, 2. A crit is 21 damage. We get to reduce our stress by 1. We deal 21 damage to the Gargoyle. They only take half of that damage, but even still, that's enough to take out this Gargoyle. I'm amazed. That was incredible. I'm so glad I leveled that up. So that's her first action. Her second action, she's going to do a Barbaric Yorp into her space, hopefully stunning both of these guys. She got an 8. They've got a dodge of 1. She needed 11, so she needed 10. She did it. So these guys are both stunned. stunned at the, you know, she's just done a barbaric Yorp because she's like, I killed that gargoyle, Yorp. Okay, and we now have the first bad guy, which is a spitter. So we get rid of the stun token. Then it's our Plague Doctor. She's doing okay for stress, so we're going to move over here and we're going to pick this up. So we can choose to have gold, or we can choose to have a provision dice. We're going to go for gold. Times that by 2, so we get 18 gold. She's, however, cornered, so she gets +1 stress. Okay, next. We've got the bad guys. So, yep, our Weber, they're stunned. They're no longer stunned. It's now our Musketeer. Musketeer is going to move 1 space, and then she's going to try and do a... No, do you know what? She's going to stay there, and she's going to do a battlefield bandage on the Vestal. And she didn't get a crit, but she did enough to heal 4 points of damage off the Vestal. The Vestal only has 1 damage on her now. And we also get 2 buff tokens on our Musketeer. And then finally it's the Vestal. She takes 1 damage from her bleed condition. And we're going to move her 2 spaces there. And then she's going to do her Judgment on... Let's do it on the Spitter. So Judgment 2 to active 10. But yeah, we still do it because they've only got a dodge of 1. So it does 5 damage to the Spitter, which kills the Spitter. The Spitter is no more. And she also gets to heal herself 3. So back to full health now. And we're on to round 3. So, I mean, this was a very easy combat, I feel. I kind of feel bad. When we pick up insects at this stage, I feel very bad because they're just a bit of a cakewalk. So, let's see who's going first. Yeah, we take 1 damage from our Blight condition. And we're just going to attack this thing with a Wicked Hack. Accuracy of 9, however, the... oh, I didn't roll to see if we were focused. So I'll do that just after I've done this roll. So I miss on that. I'm going to roll to see if we're focused. We weren't. So she's going to try a Wicked Hack again. This time she got a 3. That is going to be a critical. It does 12 damage, killing our last spider. So we've cleared this room out there. We're now going to do a scout. So everyone increases their stress by 1. And we reveal we've got a trap down there and a curio room there, which means one of these is a battle room and one of these is a, one of these is not. It's a stressful a dark room. If we go this way, we're going to be rolling 16 dice to try to get there. Do you know what? I'm going to call it a day. We're just going to end it here. I'm going to head back to town with everything I've got. I feel like I got a decent amount of cash that time around. And my guys are all going to get 2 experience points each, which means we can level up our Hellion and our Plague Doctor, hopefully, depending how many days we get left. We get 3 gold for these as well. So do you know what? I'm just getting rid of these guys straight away. We're going to get 3 gold back when we go to the Hamlet phase. And I'll have a quick look over our characters and where we're at. So we got 4 damage on our Hellion, 4 stress. Plague Doctor's 3 damage on them and 5 stress. Our Musketeer, 2 damage, and they've got 6 stress on there, I think that is. And then our Vestal has quite a bit of stress there. She's on 6 stress as well as that. Yeah, 6 stress. She also picked up a negative quirk in here. She's anemic, but lots of gold. So yeah, we'll head back to the Hamlet and we will hopefully level some people up next time. Well, that was relatively straightforward, and I had a quick look at the board after I'd kind of stopped filming, and the last room was right in the corner. So I was planning to go right along the very long corridor, which would have been 16 dice to roll. And yeah, it wouldn't have, might not have worked out well for my guys. I just didn't want to get back to the Hamlet and have a ton of damage on them, or like a ton of stress, or a ton of quirks. Maybe I could have done with some more curios, because when we get back to the Hamlet, the caretaker is definitely going to be trying to steal some of those, because of the horrible Hamlet effect that the collector has. I kind of feel like some of these bad guys should level up with you a bit. Like the insects at this stage are just a cakewalk. They really don't pose any threat. They can add, a couple of bites or something to you, to give you bleed damage or blight damage, but once you've leveled your characters up, they're quite resistant to some of this stuff, so it's not as bad. Saying that though, I think that the dice rolls, it's all on the dice rolls. You could get ganged up on quite easily, and if you did have a few conditions on you, then that could soon ramp up and take you out. And I imagine I'll be eating my words next week when I actually die by the hand of one of these like spider bites or something. But yes, one thing I did forget to mention as well, just as I'm coming to the Hamlet phase next time, I will hopefully remember this, but I did have a virtue card on my Hellion, which means she will be, will be coming out with a positive quirk from this. So she'll be having an additional positive quirk. Anyway, that's all from me for this week. If you've enjoyed our content, please like and subscribe to our channel. You guys are the lifeblood of Die Rollin that keeps me making more videos. We're coming up very close to December, which means we're going to be starting out, and by we I mean I'm going to be my Resident Evil 3 playthrough. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We've also got Core Space Firstborn coming, and what else have we got? We've got some Zombicide Undead or Alive on the way, and we also have a blast from the past. I've dusted off my Shadows of Brimstone content, and we are going to be playing Shadows of Brimstone, which if you've never played before, it is probably one of my most favourite games. It is Wild West, it is horror, it is pure dungeon crawling. So if you want to check that out, then stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be filming that around just after Christmas, I think. We've got a whole day set aside for some Shadows of Brimstone. So I'm going to be painting up miniatures, which you can see on the Instagram channel. And then we'll be, filming all of that, or some of that, and then uploading that in the new year. So, so plenty to stay tuned for this. And of course, we will be continuing with our Darkest Dungeon playthrough. And once again, I say we, I mean me, I will be doing the Darkest Dungeon playthrough. And once our lovely ladies have either bit the dust or have defeated the Darkest Dungeon, we will be doing, of course, the Red Run, where I will be doing the Crimson Court expansion. And who knows, if I'm in a better financial situation next year and I can afford it, I might pick up the Cove, the Warrens, and the other expansions, which I can't remember. The Weald, is it? Color of Space? I don't know. Color of Madness? Anyway, I might pick up some more expansions for this, but we'll see how we're getting on next year. Anyway, that's it from me, the ever-excitable Adam. I've been your host for today, and as always, for the Darkest Dungeon playthroughs. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe to our Instagram, our YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter. A 40-year-old guy like me is on TikTok, which is, it's ridiculous. I'm not quite 40 yet, but nearly. And until next time, guys, stay safe or die rolling.